Shoelace tying, again, can be worked around. It can be worked around for all of life, really. There's Velcro shoes available for all ages and sizes. Often children first come wanting to learn shoelace tying when they get to the stage of doing football or hurling, and they reach to an age where their coaches don't want to be tying their shoelaces anymore, and that's often the first motivating factor. But just bear in mind that it can be worked around. It's something that can be really frustrating to learn. So I always say put like a time limit on it. So say you're going to do like 5 practices, and each time you do it, you're crossing out a box, culling it in. Or you just put out like 5 items, and every time you do a practice of it, you move it to the other side so that they know, right, this little pile is getting smaller and the other little pile is getting bigger. It's easier to learn shoelace tying and to tie shoelaces tight when you've got flat laces like these ones, rather than curved lace that sometimes shoes come with. So you can obviously replace the laces if they come with ones that you don't want. I'd also suggest not necessarily starting learning on shoes that the person has had bought for them, because it can be frustrating if it takes a long time to learn and there's a pair of shoes that they're growing out of. And again, definitely practice on the tabletop first, because when you actually move to doing it on your own foot, your knee and your posture can get in the way a little bit as well. So the first step is to flick over the laces, cross them over, and then put one inside the other and pull it tight. If you are using round laces, then actually putting that one in one extra time can hold it a little bit tighter. So it's just something to bear in mind. Then on your writing side, you make a small loop. So at this point, people can often be inclined to make a really big one, but you want to make sure it's nice and small, and you hold it here. Then you take this and you wrap it around. It actually can wrap either this way or this way. If someone is having difficulty and they're learning it at the very beginning, then I would say wrap it clockwise, and then a bit of lace right here at the thumb. That's the little bit that goes in through that new hole. And sometimes people are inclined to put it through the loophole, but it wants to go in through the new hole here that's right down at your thumb. Now what you're left with is 2 little loops. So the important thing here is to do pinching. So you're pinching the tops rather than putting just a thumb or a finger in through it and pulling it. So pinch the tops and pull it tight. And then you can teach how to like shorten the laces by pulling, and how to do a double knot, but that's generally the steps of it. So if shoelace tying is really hard, then an effective strategy can be to teach it the last step first. So an adult that's helping would do the first steps, and then when it gets to this point, they prompt the person who's learning to go pinch, pinch on both loops. Pinch, pinch, and pull them. And they do that as many times as they need until they can do the pinch, pinch, pull without any prompts. And then you'd give them the next step to do. So you'd bring it to this point, and then you'd say, okay, it's just here, you're going to push the material through, push it in, and then they'd already know how to do the last step. And then once they can do that without any prompts, you'd do the first loop, and then you'd say, okay, bring it around, and then they'd already know how to finish it off.